Hey guys, Culgan here with Beastboxing Turbo. I just picked this up from Gamersgate for €4. Then I saw it on Desura moments later for half that price. Money down the drain, but whatever, it's only €2, so I kinda hope the devs got that extra money. I'm going into this game rather skeptically, and the reason for my skepticism is that I am not a boxing fan. I don't like boxing, I don't care about boxing, I have no interest in boxing at all. So then you're probably wondering, why did I buy a boxing game? And honestly, I don't know. I was bored, it was cheap, and I am a terrible impulse buyer. I should also point out before I start that I did play the first tutorial and the first fight in the story mode before I started this recording, just to get a little practice in. And after I done those, I reset my data just so that I could play through them again for the recording, so that I don't look like a total noob. So let's get started. In the beast boxing leagues of Beast Hollow, the strongest monsters fight for fame and fortune. A human entering the leagues would be unheard of, but it's always been your dream. Having been in fights with punk beasts as a kid, you think you could take them if only given a chance and the right training. It's why you bought this awesome monster costume, and it's why this is either going to be the smartest thing you've ever done, or the stupidest. Now, the first time actually, before I started recording, I was in a bit of a panic there when that happened. I jumped back saying, crap, this is a bit of a, it's a bit of a cruel way to start the game, just with a punch to the face, giving you no chance to react. But I realised it was just the tutorial, so nothing to worry about. Now this is just customized keys, which I done from the options in the main menu. I'm just going to skip this one because it's just teaching you the basic controls, how to block, which is down arrow, how to move left and right, which is the left and right arrow, how to punch, which is Z and the X keys, and then to do hooks and uppercuts, which is just up arrow and Z or X for an uppercut, and for a hook, hold left and press the right punch button, which is X, and you'll do a right hand hook. Hold right and press Z for a left-handed punch, and you do a left-handed hook. That's basically all this tutorial is. So our first fight in the qualifier, to actually qualify for the Bush League, we have to fight the pig guy, whose race is Pigston. He smells bad, and his job is a coach. Smelling bad is apparently a trait of his. Now, what I did notice from this fight before I started recording, you can only move left and right. You can't move forward and back. So my qualifying day is finally here. This costume sure works and nobody suspects that I'm human. I just hope I'm prepared. Alright kid, let's see what you got. So like I said, you can only move left and right. There's no moving forward and back. I don't know why that is. Maybe the devs just wanted to keep the game fast paced. Now another thing you should keep your eye on that I noticed when I played the first time, the power bar, the blue bar in the top left, that's your stamina bar, and if you punch too much you're going to run out of stamina, and when you run out of stamina your attacks get slower, your attacks get weaker, and if you notice the bar on the bottom left, that's your, I don't know what it's called, but it's some flaming meter that when you fill it up your fists go on fire and you can attack as much as you want without using any stamina. But your bar will actually decrease and reset if you get hit or you run out of stamina before it fills up. Now this guy is pretty easy. You don't need to do anything like uppercuts or hooks if you don't want to. You can easily beat him with just jabs. In the options I noticed that the controls, it said the left shift button is for your special attack, but I've actually pressed that and it does nothing. So I don't know if we get that later on or what, but for the moment it does nothing. Huff, puff. That wasn't half bad, kid. You may have qualified, but you could use a coach. Here's your prize money. Now get cleaned up and find me in the gym, and I'll show you a thing or two. Kinda sounds a bit dirty. I qualified. Thanks, coach. I hope you wasn't just taking it easy on me. I'll see you in the gym. And this part I noticed is pretty nice. It shows you the amount of attacks you done, what attacks you done, and how many of them connected. It shows your overall accuracy. So it's a pretty nice little thing to put at the end of the fight. New tutorial unlocked. Guard meters. This is where I stopped. When I first played it, I just done that first fight and then stopped. I reset my data after this. I just wanted to get a little practice in. So everything from this point on, I am completely blind about, and I really don't know anything. Well, that's not true. I done that guard tutorial too, but pretty much from here on, all the fights and everything, I'm just as blind as the rest of you are about this, and I really don't know what to expect. So in the tutorials, I'll do the guard tutorial now and show you what that is, because it is, I suppose, an important feature when it comes to fights to give you a good advantage. And I noticed there are 10 tutorials, and if I remember correctly from the store page, there are 12 boxers total, so there are going to be 12 fights. So it seems like we're going to get one tutorial after each fight. So, you know, there's a lot more to the game than I originally thought there would be. So I'll show you the guard tutorial. I gotta admit, kid, it takes a lot of guts to enter beast boxing, but you passed the qualifier fair and square, and I'd be happy to coach you. You should pay attention to your opponent's guard meter in the upper corner. Now, the guard meter, it took me a while to actually notice this, but where I'm circling the mouse at the moment, the guard meter is his portrait with the gloves. Now, the reason I noticed this is because I looked at his, then I looked at mine, and I noticed that his was covering his face, but mine was nowhere near my portrait. And every time you punch him, the gloves on his portrait, they drop a little bit. So each time they drop, it lowers their defense. So if you keep an eye on it now, on his portrait, see now that his gloves are beneath the portrait, that's when you start putting in heavy punches like the uppercuts and the hooks. Which apparently they'll do more damage then or something, I'm not sure. So now, I have no idea what to expect from here on out. So we go into upgrades. These are our stats. We've got attack, defense, speed, health, power, and block. So we'll improve our skills. So we'll get... what skills should we get? But where is he? He said he'd give me advice or something in here. At the end of that tutorial, he said he would give me advice when I go into upgrades, but he's not here. I wonder if that only happens the first time you play through the game. Maybe because I reset my data, it doesn't happen. But that would be strange because I didn't actually do this my first time. The first time I stopped after that tutorial, and I never actually went into upgrades. That's strange. Maybe resetting your data messes with it or something. So I don't know what to do here. Should I buy gear? Should I improve my skills? Yeah, I'll improve my skills. Okay, so one upgrade into attack seems to increase your damage or your attack by 2. And we have 6-minute abs for overall damage, which is only 0.2% per upgrade. You know, that's very, very low. It looks like that's going to take a lot of money and a lot of upgrades just to make a noticeable difference. And we have road work, faster punches and movement speed, but that only increases your speed by 1. Burpees, it's for health, increases your health by 3 per upgrade. That's pretty nice. Jump rope, punch more, extends combos. So this is your stamina bar. Each upgrade increases your stamina by 2. And mitts for reduced damage for block hits, which, much like 6-minute abs, only decreases the amount you take by 0.2%, but it starts at 63%, so, you know, it's not too bad. What else should I put my stats into? Should I put it all in the upgrades, or... I'm going to look at the gear, actually. So we've got $35 for arm wraps for 2% defense, not bad. $100 for plus 3% defense minus 2% speed. That's... You know, I don't think I'd want to sacrifice the speed just for a little extra defense. Oh, this one's nice now. 3% attack, 2% block, but 450, that's way more than I actually have. Actually, filters, all sets. So yeah, we've got a few sets here. We've got the Initiate's Garb, which is probably the cheapest beginner stuff. Then I'm guessing this goes up in tiers. So I'm going to guess that Beastly and Skull are going to be the end stuff. So let's select Initiate's Garbs. All types. Yeah, we can sort them by parts. So we look at all the Initiate stuff, which is likely all I can afford by now. 3% speed for the flag totem. $80 for leather shoulders for defense and block. 2 defense minus 1 speed. Yeah, these are all minus speed. Would it really be worth sacrificing all this speed just for a little extra defense? I mean, it would kind of cancel out. Wouldn't faster speed be better so you could dodge easier? I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with the arm wraps. They're the cheapest and it's an extra 2% defense. $80 left. What else can I afford? Leather pants. No. Now, do I go with leather shoulders for 2% defense and 1% block? Or should I get the flag totem for 3% speed? Huh. Yeah, I think I'll go with the flag totem for the extra speed so I can dodge. $39 left, so guess I'll put this into some skills. What should I get? I'm gonna guess hit points, maybe. Hit points and damage might be the best choices. So I've only $9 left, not enough to get any upgrades. Oh, it's nice. The items equip automatically. And actually, I just noticed too. If you look on the picture here on the right, the items I bought actually appear on the character here. So we've got the totem here appears on her waist, and the armbands appear on her arms. That's pretty nice. Alright, so we got our next fight now. Polyp, snake-eyed, loves the internet and pawns noobs. Cold-blooded and calculating, look out for power hooks. So apparently he does a lot of hooks, so I'm gonna have to dodge a lot, maybe block a lot. Or should I... Exhibition, what's... Rematch any opponents you've ranked higher than to earn extra money. Let's just check this. Winner gets 40 coins. Didn't I get 132 for beating him in the actual story? So, seems like, yeah, the exhibition you get about a third. Is that right? About a third of the original amount, so... You know, you could, I suppose, farm exhibition. Yeah, you could farm exhibition then for money to get better gear and upgrade your stats. So, let's fight this guy. Polyp. Day job. Strange that you don't get money from your day job. I'm the top ranked student at Commander's next top boxer show, and you're some nobody from the slums. I'm gonna kick your posterior. Why didn't they just say ass? I guess they're trying to keep it PG or something. Gulp. I watched that show. How can I beat someone who has been training so long? Snort. Focus now and train later. Bush League is all about the basics. Wait for openings and counter jab. Then follow up with hooks or uppercuts. Okay, not... This guy looks really strange. 8 eyes. And he's only got 1 pair of glasses. I don't know when I get this special attack. Because I'm guessing that uppercut there, is that just an uppercut or is that his special? I noticed the pig, when I first played it before I recorded, the pig would headbutt. And I actually got hit by his headbutt, which instantly killed me, even though I had nearly full health. So I guess... what's this? That must be his special attack. Like, the pig had a headbutt. That guy, he had this weird stretchy thing with his arms that he punches with both of them. That seems like that's his special. Oh, my stamina keeps running out here. So, since I got 1 hit by the pig's headbutt, it seems like the enemy's special attacks, they do 1 hit you, so it's something you kind of want to avoid. If you see them going for their special, get the hell out of the way. And because the second time he actually headbutted me, I blocked, but even though I was blocking, it still killed me. So it's something you need to dodge. Yeah, I got lucky there. He just missed me. I'm still really disappointed that you can only move side to side. I know, like I said, it's probably just to keep the action fast paced and, you know, to keep you running around dragging out fights and all, but you know, it would have been nice to be able to go back and forth as opposed to just side to side. Seems like this would be really fun if it was multiplayer too. It'd be good to, you know, challenge other people and, you know, have an online fight, or even if it wasn't online, just a local multiplayer, local versus mode or something. It'd be pretty good just to fight a friend or something. He wasn't that hard either, actually. He's a little harder than the pig, but not too difficult. Ack, I knew I should have paid for the private lessons. Ha, I knew you could do it, kid. In fact, I'm entering you for the Bush League title next fight. What? A title match already? Accuracy 77%. Wasn't that the same as I got last fight? Coins earned 402. And we got a new tutorial, countering. So, yeah, we'll do the tutorial. Pigless told me that I could train here if I showed you a few moves. It's a good thing for you that I always pay attention in class. Since you're skinny like me, you should really study counter-punching in detail. Boxers have to drop their guard to attack, so it's an excellent time to hit them back. If an opponent cues before their attack, or has a long follow-through on a heavy punch, that's your chance to counter. Watch for me to attack and my guard meter to drop. Then hit me with a jab. Ah. So we wait for him to attack. Alright. Okay, so he recommends countering or counter punching with straight punches first, so when you counter, make sure you use a jab since it's quick and easy. Because they're fast and easy to recover from if you miss. You won't be the only one counter punching out there though. If you throw a quick jab, try and get past an opponent's guard, they may counter punch you right afterwards. A good way to get around this is to throw a quick left jab, and if I block, quickly pull up your guard and block my counter attack. You don't have to wait for a punch to be finished before making your next move. Soon after your punch reaches maximum extension, you should be making your next punch. To block my punch, hold block before your jab even hits. Huh? Ah. So we can block before we even finish punching him. That's pretty neat. Not bad. This is a tricky technique, but you'll get the hang of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some studying to do. Alright, so we've got some more money now. Let's... Should I improve skills or buy gear? I don't want to get gear that's going to be decreasing my stats or anything. See, this one is pretty good, but it's expensive. 450. Let's see what this one's like. Oh, $80 for plus 4 defense. Oh, 900 for veteran gloves. 160, 2% attack. That one's pretty decent. I'll get that one. A chicken. 10% health. Demon wraps. Whoa, 1,000. Looks, yeah, they're getting very expensive down here. Oh, plus 15% coin, so that one would be helpful when you're doing exhibitions. Yeah, these are way too expensive. I won't be able to afford those ones just yet. 250 left. You see, I like these ones with the extra defense, but I don't want to sacrifice the speed. This one's really nice, but 900, I don't have enough. 4% defense minus 3% speed. It's too much. You know, you lose too much for what you gain, so I don't feel like it's going to be worth it. Demon wraps. Armbands. I already have armbands, so I want to focus on something I don't have for now. So I suppose gloves, maybe. 3% attack. Oh, I don't have enough for those gloves either. What don't I have? Arm pads. Do I have arm pads? I've got arm wraps. I have shoulders. Armbands, chest, gloves, pants. Sorry about this. I don't know what I should pick. So I've got shoulders, a totem, and the wraps. The gloves are too expensive. I sacrifice too much speed, so yeah, I'll get the armbands, whatever. 4% defense, why not? Leaves me with 171. You know what? Whatever, I'll get it. 1% speed. It's not too much of a loss, I suppose. $21 left. I'll make that back. And I suppose 10 into stamina. So, little improvement there in the stats. Now we've got our title bout. Win the title bout and become the champ. Lose and you'll move down 1 rank. Wait, so if I lose, I get pushed back into 3rd place. Would that mean I have to fight Polyp again? Ah. Okay, so the Bush League champion is Steve. Vitamin, calcium, loves fitness, jaw, sturdy. Boxing is all about physical fitness. So this guy seems like he's going to be quick and dodging a lot. Alright, so should I fight him now? It's a title fight, so obviously it's going to be difficult. So do I fight him now, or do I do exhibition, get a bit more money and get better gear and stats? You know what? I'll fight him. Let's see how it goes. Polyp was easy enough, so even if I lose this, it's not going to be too difficult to beat Polyp again. You may have beaten Polyp, but he's a weakling. Boxing is all about fitness, and I've got a spin class at 5. Let's get this over with. Steve, the fitness skeleton, is famous for his endurance. but he's a bit too flashy. Stay focused and wait for good opportunities to attack. Alright. Oh, this guy is... yeah, this guy is fast. Alright, so we got our flaming... One thing that's it's gonna get really difficult to keep an eye on is... oh, from the tutorials, oh, that looks like it's his special. It's a really big one. Like I said, one thing that looks like it's gonna get really difficult to keep your eye on is... see your stamina bar at the top left, where you have to keep an eye on that, make sure you don't run out. You also have to keep your eye on their guard meter at the top right, as well as keeping an eye on your blazing meter, I suppose, at the bottom left, while keeping an eye on the actual opponent too, to make sure he's not going to attack you. So you have a lot to keep your eye on at the same time, so I have a feeling in the later, trickier fights, it's going to get really difficult. You know, especially since this guy looks like he's pretty damn fast, and this is only the third fight in the Bush League, which is basically all the rookies. I don't even want to know what all the professionals are like. This guy is easy. I mean, he's fast. His attacks do a decent enough amount of damage, but he's not that difficult for a champion. So, okay, the music just spiked and he got back up after I KO'd him. So the music spiked, like I said, when he got up. That was strange. Simple fight. The game is pretty easy, but I noticed on the main menu, actually, I'll explain in a minute, I lost the title. I guess I can really focus on fitness now. Maybe open my own gym. Maybe I was never that into boxing to begin with. Way to go, kid. Nobody took us seriously, but now you're the Bush League champ. My gym is going to be famous. What are you going to do with all that prize money? Get better gear. With this money, I could finally leave the slums, but I feel like boxing is what I'm meant to do. I'm going to enter the pro circuit. You may have been an unknown before, but now you won't have that advantage. Well, you're given this old has-been something to work for, and I'll help you get ready. 83% accuracy. It's an improvement. I forgot what I was going to say now before I started reading that stuff out. Whatever. Completely forgot. New tutorial unlocked. Power. Should I do the tutorial now? Should I continue? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll do the tutorial and I'll probably leave it at that for now. So, power. Let's talk about managing your power. A key component of fitness, since high-powered attacks do maximum damage. It's one of the most important things for a boxer to master. Low power means weak punches. You'll regain power over time, but more slowly while you're blocking. Punching, getting hit, and blocking, it's all sap your power. Heavier punches use more power. If you want to survive in the ring, you've got to improve your endurance. Punch repeatedly to power low, then wait to recover. Oh, so punch to low power but don't let it drain. Or do I let it drain? Huh. Yeah, it seems like I just let it drain. That's the spirit. Pace yourself, learn your limits, then expand them. I'm glad you care so much about staying in shape. If you want some extra cash for training, I'll be around for exhibition matches. Boxing may not be my passion, but it's a good workout. Alright, so we've got $672 now. And this is the first guy in the Pro League. But, oh, I remember what I was going to say. The, on the main menu, the update, it was saying that there's now an easy mode, but I looked through the options and such, but there's no way to adjust the difficulty setting. So I have no idea. It seems like there's just one difficulty setting. There was no way to select what difficulty you want to play the game at. And we're in the Pro League now, so I'm guessing that the game is going to get much more difficult now that we're out of all the rookie stuff. So I have a feeling, based on the upgrades, you know, since they offer so little stats per upgrade, it looks like we're going to be needing a lot of money to upgrade to make noticeable differences. Well, upgrade these a lot, get them to high levels, just so that it makes a noticeable difference in your stats. And then in the gear... Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that edit. I got a phone call which interrupted the recording. Now, like I was saying about the gear, it starts off pretty cheap. The ones I can afford here. And then you get them down here and they start going into the thousands. And based on what we're getting per fight off the story matches, not going to be able to afford this stuff, as well as getting all your skills on top of that. So it looks like you're definitely going to have to be doing the exhibition matches, you know, to basically grind all of these exhibition matches to get coin to improve your stats and get better gear. I mean, the first 3 fights were pretty simple. It was the Bush League, basically rookies, so they're just easing you in. And there's 9 more fights to go. Now we're in the Pro League, and you know, I don't know if there's any league above the Pro League or anything, but you know, the prize money kind of jumps up a lot now. We're getting 1074 coins, and style, aggressive, you know, strong, demonic, and mean, use your wits. So it sounds like it's going to start getting pretty difficult. So I'm definitely going to need to be grinding exhibition to get coin to improve our gear and such, which I'm not going to do in a recording. I'll do that myself off camera before I start recording the next part. If I record the next part. So that's all for now. And despite my dislike of boxing in general, you know, it seems like a pretty fun game so far, I have to say. I'll hopefully be back soon with the next part. If not, it's because, you know, I either got bored of the grind to get better gear and to improve my stats, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty big grind, or I just got distracted by playing one of the other games I plan on doing a recording of, which I do have a lot of games put aside that I kind of want to play for recordings, many of which interest me a lot as opposed to boxing. So who knows, I may end up giving up this to do one of the games I'm more interested in, since I do dislike boxing in general. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.